Welcome to Homes That Heal, the podcast that transforms your life and home into a sanctuary of health, healing, and happiness. Hi, I'm Jen Heller, a wellness educator, infrared sauna expert, and your guide to living intentionally. Each week, we'll explore a variety of wellness tools, along with detoxification, weight loss, and anti-aging tips to boost your energy and align your mind and body so you can thrive in life, not just survive. Your health is your wealth, and it all starts at home. Let's dive in and create a home that heals. Hey friends, Jen here. Welcome back to Homes That Heal. I hope you all missed me as much as I missed you. I am back in the saddle, and then if you didn't know, I was taking a bit of a hiatus, or what I call a fall break, for about the last 6 weeks or so. It's something I do every year because the fall season feels so good to me, and it's really a great time to go inward, disconnect, ground, release, hit the reset button, just relax in the renewed energy. So with that being said, though, I hope you enjoyed the encore shows over the last couple of months. They were a few of your favorite shows. Also, I just want to send you a huge thank you for all the love and fabulous feedback. I'm super grateful for you all, and I'm so happy to be back. I absolutely love Wisconsin fall vibes, and my break was fantastic. It was full of family, friends, campfires, cookouts, plus a few fabulous trips I took in September I'll share a bit more about. I'm super excited to dive back into the show, though. Plus, I am eager to share with you a major change and shift that started back in February that has totally impacted our life this year, one that I've kept very quiet and private for many reasons. However, it is time to talk about it, and I'm really excited to open up and share it with you. This topic and conversation, quite frankly, has changed me in ways that I don't think I can ever describe in words. In fact, I know I can't. It's emotionally charged, deeply personal, and has completely cracked my heart wide open. It's also brought me to my knees and God more than anything else in my life. It's literally one of the core foundations in what I've always envisioned for Homes That Heal, and I'm so incredibly grateful for the lessons and experiences. This conversation is also something I'll be pouring more specific energy into in 2026. I'm not going to get into the full story today, but I've recorded an entire show on it that will air in 2 weeks, so please stay tuned for that. Okay, you guys, I'm so excited to dive into my conversation with Kellie Lupsha today. We dig into all the things: longevity, weight gain, midlife, hormones, plus how to activate your GLP-1 naturally. Yes, you heard that correctly, naturally, which is such a hot topic right now. I feel like it's everywhere. So I wanted to talk about it, and Kellie is an expert on GLP-1. She is foremost a mom of 4 adult kids and a true entrepreneur. She's been in the health and wellness space for over 30 years, deeply respected, and the host of the wildly popular show, Thriving in Midlife, Redefining Aging and Wellness. She helps women achieve more energy, balance hormones, and improve your metabolic health. She's super passionate about teaching people how to activate their genes, achieve root cause healing, plus empowers you to optimize your longevity. Her ultimate purpose in life, which is why she and I align so well, is to help you become the CEO of your health and your overall life. I am so excited for you to join us today. Please enjoy and welcome Kellie Lupsha to the show. Hello, Kellie. Welcome to the show. How are you today?
Doing fabulous. Thanks for having me on, Jen.
Oh my gosh. Do you ever have that feeling in your stomach where you're like, I have so many things I want to talk about, and then I'm excited and I have all these notes, but I don't know where to start. But the first thing I want to chat with you about is the interesting synchronicity that you and I, it's not that I'm not that shocked, but you and I found ourselves in the same room clear across the country a few weeks ago at the Kathy Heller retreat, the Infinite Yes retreat. And we got to spend 3 glorious days hanging out with Kathy and 70 other fabulous women. I cannot believe that how big this small world is. Like, isn't that insane?
It's insane. And you know what I found is day 1 and day 2, we are all kind of a little bit more at our tables and reserved. And honestly, the end of day 2, I think maybe that evening getting our photos done and then led into day 3. Everyone was finally on day 3, like, let's meet everybody. You need to connect. Like it just like the goodness really started getting deep. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that would have been our day, Jen.
I know. But the interesting thing about that is like, and I don't know how many Kathy retreats I've been to, maybe 6, maybe 5 or 6. I don't even know. But that's right. It takes almost like a day and a half, 2 days for everybody to kind of get their legs about them. And you're kind of in your own head a little bit or doing your own inner work, so to speak, that you recognize familiar faces, like a lot of the ladies I've seen, but you're not really talking or connecting with a ton of everybody because you're kind of in your own little round circle table bubble, so to speak. And then it's like day 3, it's like, rip everything off. Everyone wants to hang out, and then it's over. It's like sadly over. I told Kathy, I'm like, she should have like 7 or 8 day retreats. How fun would that be?
How fun would that be? Oh my gosh. Yeah. Talk about deep work, right? Like we just start to crack the door on day 2 and 3.
Yeah, like I said, I've been to a few now. I thoroughly enjoy it. It's like one of my favorite treats or gifts to myself is to attend something like that for so many reasons. What was your biggest takeaway? I guess I'm sure there were 4,000, but what would you say? What did you come home with? And you're like, yep, that's something I'm going to remember forever.
Yeah, talk about so many takeaways, but the number one message is people don't only want, they are dying to know what I have to say, what I have to share.
Right.
Like sometimes we get in our head and I'm like, no, I have to remember people are out there that need what we're sharing and it's our responsibility to share.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's the, like, throughout the 3 days, it's a constant reminder, whether it's in small conversation or the guests and the friends that she brings in to speak to us. Like the overarching message is like, just get out of your head. Everybody is so in their heads about like, what if I say this? And what if I say that? And what if I make this person mad? It's like, give yourself permission or give other people permission to not like you. Like, give them permission to not judge you. And then to like sit with that and just feel that, how that feels. Like, that's kind of what I took away from it was like, it's not my conversation. My voice isn't for everybody. My message isn't resonating. So it's just so interesting that we get kind of caught up in our own headspace when the exact thing that we're craving and searching for, like people like each other, right? Like, I love your show. I love all your stuff. I'm like, I could get drunk on all this stuff. Like, it's everything I want to talk about all day long. But then it's like, oh, my message. Oh, maybe I'll hear it. So it's just so wild and interesting to me. So
And I also, probably my second takeaway is, when you're in a room with women just like you, and I don't mean like we're all doing the same thing, but we all are craving inner healing and spreading messages and positivity and opening it. Like when you're in a room like that, then you realize together we can do big things. Like that powerful that there are a lot of women out there that are ready to rise up. And who are they? Let's go.
Right. I think Kathy said there were 70 or 72 of us in there. And the amount of energy, no matter what we were talking about, was palpable. Whether it was somebody sharing their personal story and everybody's hearts were just like, I'm getting goosebumps right now just thinking about all the stories, everyone just outpouring love and like giving hugs to each other. That is what we're all craving, is that human connection. But then in turn, it's like it just plugs the batteries in for you so that you can go out and do what it is that you're craving to do. Like, it's such an interesting cup. It's just so, I love it. I could talk about Kathy and her her collective all day long. I just couldn't believe it when I realized, I was like, wait a second. Kellie was in the group, was in Florida, and now she's going to be on my like, it's just so fun. I love it.
It is so fun. Well, now we'll always be connected for all the next ones for sure.
Exactly, for sure. So let's talk about you and the last 30 years of your health, wellness journey, everything that you have been working on and with and for over the last 3 decades. literally a physical therapist, like all the things. I mean, your bio is so impressive, or just your history is so incredibly impressive. But it also just really kind of, I don't say solidifies, but it really just kind of elevates you from an experience standpoint, and you are exactly who women want to speak to, I think, especially in midlife or our age. Like, I'm not really sure. Sometimes that word midlife, I'll be honest, I'm like, when is that number actually going to resonate? I'm not really sure, but like the season we're in, right?
Yes.
I think that's what I love about you and everything that you're sharing and talking to women about, is that you have this broad, like you have years of experience to really speak to it. So talk to me a little bit, like first how you stepped into this 30 years ago, and then where you're at right now.
Yes. So without like the whole long story, right? Growing up, scholar athlete, kind of fell into physical therapy as I had some injuries myself and watched my brother and my mom. My dad was pushing me to go to medical school, and I was like, no, that's not me. No, thanks. But my mom was an educator. My dad was an accountant. I was really good with like numbers and things like that. So I liked the science part of it, but I liked the teaching part of it. So as a physical therapist, really, you're just an educator in health of the human body. I'm like, this is amazing. I really thought I would end up going into sports medicine, orthopedics, because that's what every PT did, I thought at the time. And then after I went through school and being able to go to the Mayo Clinic, I was really blessed that I had tons of opportunities to see the whole spectrum of physical therapy. So, I saw anything from pediatrics to burns to they were like doing all sorts of reconstruction, amputation sort of things. I mean, it was just wild what I got to see, but I really got to see the recovery of stroke and traumatic brain injury and concussion and spinal cord and severely neurological disorders that I was like, I'm transforming lives. I'm helping people get their lives back. Like, wow. So that really put me on a trajectory for the most part, my entire career to help people. Then I ran hospitals. Then I was like, yeah, I got in this to serve people, not to run hospitals. So then I opened up my own practice with my husband and started teaching other therapists all around the world. Like, we can help people recover. This is amazing. It's such a gift. It's such a blessing. But good or bad, as a woman in our age group, thinking like we could do it all, right? I thought, I could run a practice. I can have 4 kids. I can do this. And I found that I was so dedicated to my work and teaching and traveling. I really was like, I kind of felt I neglected a little bit like my family. All my other girlfriends are like, Kellie, you're the best mom in the world. How could you ever say that? Now I can say, you know what? I was such a role model for them, which I'm really, really proud of. But I wish I wasn't in the season of hustle and grind so long. I just didn't know anything else, right? That was it back then.
Yeah.
But probably about, now, gosh, I'm 53, so around 40. My dad had passed away maybe 3 or 4 years before that. And I just started to kind of uncover, why did he pass? He had cancer. There was never cancer in the family. Where did this come from? And I started unraveling, oh my gosh, this world that we're living in, and toxins and pollutants and foods and, glue in the carpet. I mean, you can go take a really deep dive in toxins and all the bad things, but it just started to open up like, oh my gosh, I can help my clients way more than just my physical therapy skills. My mentor was quite unique and out of the box, and we really treated the entire body. So from a typical physical therapist, we were not typical at all. But that made me start to question all the other things I was doing. And I really realized to truly heal, even though I was working on the brain, you've got to heal from within and heal the cells. And heal the gut and the gut brain connection. And this is like, gets all into my jam. But then I realized that it starts with me, right? If I can get well, and if I didn't do anything different, I would end up down the road of a lot of my friends, which were going down the road of autoimmune, cancer, chronic disease, chronic pain. And I'm like, that will be me if I don't change something. So that's when I really was like, that's it. I'm going to start nurturing myself and taking care of myself and look to see what I can do. And we brought in all sorts of modalities into our clinic, from hyperbaric to infrared sauna. I mean, I was doing like triathlons and grinding, and I like dropped that world and I went to like walking and lifting and yoga. But I had to really say, if I didn't do this, which now I absolutely love my life, I don't know what it would be like. And so now my friends were like, what did you do? What did you do from 40 to 50 to escape the disease, the struggles, the trauma, the vibrancy? What you have today, we're looking for that. But how did you do that? Because most of us are mucking through this part of life and none of us feel good, or we don't have passion or desires or hope, because I think that's kind of this window that people are missing. So anyways, when I really realized that even though I love physical therapy, one, my back, my hands, I can't do it forever physically because it was very, very physical. So then maybe I could take my passion and turn it into helping women really empower them to take control of their life and their health. It's not as hard as they think it is if they just kind of change their mindset on all of it. Because everyone's still stuck in the, oh, well, this is my family history, or, oh, I've always been this way. It's like, let's rewrite this story. It doesn't have to be that way. And so I just feel really blessed that I can take all my skills from the past and now pouring into women, helping them really rewrite their life, right? In some of my membership programs, some of the coaching that I do with women, helping them even just change what they think they're taking as far as products to let's really look at how to optimize your health and not just kind of poke, fill the potholes of your life.
Right.
And so it's just been so fun. It's brought me to have my own podcast and start sharing more messages and really elevating women all over. And it's a journey, and it's a continued journey.
Yeah. I love all of that. The podcast piece of it, this is exactly why we do what we do, is because people come at you and they want to know, like, okay, what did you do? Can you please tell me? And it's like, okay, this platform now exists so that we can just share it out and talk about it, which is fabulous. I have a question that just popped into my head, actually, when you were just talking about like the different programs and some of the things that you offer, because I was looking at some of the different, like on your site. I mean, your site's beautiful, like everything from sleep to hormones to activating genes. And like, there's some different like categories, so to speak, but I'm curious, and I'm sure I maybe know the answer to this question, but I'm going to ask it anyways. But like, when women come to you, is there like an overarching, like, I don't say, where do you begin? But if you could give the listeners like a couple of nuggets of what do you see as like the most important foundational? I know you said the mindset, like that has to be, we have to rip off the labels of some of this, like, oh, I'm prone to get this, or my mother had this, or my sister, or I'm just getting rid of the stigma of I'm going to get this, or I have this, or I am this because somebody else was. I think that, in my opinion, is a big step one. But what do you think is like, where do you help people start, like ground zero, if you can answer that?
Absolutely. It's a really great question. Everybody comes and they want just the fix. And they've been hearing other people's podcasts and books and social media. And so they're like, what peptide do I need? What hormone do I need? They're grabbing at everything out there. And it's all good and it all has its place. But I asked them, let me ask you a few questions. Tell me about your sleep routine. Tell me, what do you do to nurture yourself? Tell me, generally how you're fueling your body for nutrition. And they can't answer those. Like, their answers are like, well, I'm all over the place. Well, I don't have it. Well, so my really big message to help with is we have to get back to basics. Our bodies as human beings were designed to operate beautifully if we give it the sleep and the rest for restore. Right. If we give it the fuel of proper hydration, like, can we just start with a few of these things? Then let's build on foundationally. It is absolutely critical because you can put in all the best products, all the best extra gadgets, all the red light masks, you can do all of it. But if you're not doing the foundation, and you have to kind of fall in love with that, because that's really like, oh, as a human, we were designed to eat food, and actually quite a bit of it. We were designed to move our bodies. Oh, we were designed to actually really sleep at least 8 hours to heal and repair. So once you can like get into those habits, then we can really move on, but I tell people these are foundational. I know you want all the shiny objects, but let's set that aside because those are just distractions from what you are capable of.
Yeah, I love that. And I totally agree that we're all looking out for the answer, whether it be the magic pill or the supplement or I have a hyperbaric chamber in my house. Like I have a lot of the modalities in my house. Like I share about them and talk about them. But if I'm not getting enough rest, if I'm not eating enough protein, if I'm not walking once or twice a day or getting out in nature, in fact, that's what I always do before I do these shows is I go out for a walk for 30, 40 minutes, no phone, no nothing. Sometimes I'm in my own head, but it's like, listen to the birds, pay attention to the sun. In fact, I think my neighbor thought I was a little nuts because I was just looking up at the sky. It's so blue today and it's so beautiful and just like crisp blue. And it's like, it's October right now when we're recording. And I just stood there thinking like, this is so beautiful. Like we don't stop enough to actually look at the vibrancy around us and like how heart centering it feels. And just get back to what I like to call basics or ancient wisdom.
Yes.
Everybody's just going 1,000 miles an hour looking for all of the fancy gadgets and tools. And it literally lives already in our home, already in our day, and already outside. It's just really that simple. Is it not?
It's magical. When you can learn to tap back into that and love that, right?
Right.
I used to hate the walk. Oh, the walk, it's a waste of time. I should run. I used to think like playing golf with my husband for 5 hours. What a waste of time. Like you know how much productive I could do in 5 hours? And now I'm like, oh my God, I love spending that time on the golf course, being in nature, playing, like moving like what a gift that we can do like that. Right.
Ugh.
So just falling back in love with just nature, ourselves, nurturing ourselves, being able to read a book and being okay with like sitting on the couch for an hour or two to read a book. Again, I used to think that was a waste of time.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, we've all been there.
Right. And so moving in this direction. And then probably the second part about it, Jen, is if I'd ask everybody, take a screenshot of your supplement counter or your supplement drawer or whatever, people would have it's full. And when I asked them, what are you taking? Well, I was taking this and now that and that. Like, what's your routine and why are you taking this? They can't tell me, right? It's like...
Oh, I know. I'm laughing only because this is the same conversation I have with people when they call me to chat about a sauna. They start rattling off all of these different supplements because they want me to give them validation that they should be taking it. What's good with the sauna? What's good with this? What should I be taking? And I'm like, whoa. Let's just take them. Like, did somebody tell you? Did you get a test? Did you get some sort of baseline blood work test? Did you have some energetic work? Did a practitioner or somebody suggest this for you? No. There's influencers, there's affiliates, there's people online, there's flashy marketing. It's like, din, 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 din. We're all being sold to and inundated.
Yep.
And people are taking things they have no idea if they even need it. They have no idea if it's helping them. They have no idea if it's hurting them. Or if it's causing another problem for them. Yeah, sorry, I don't mean to get on my soapbox and hijack, but that's actually one of my biggest pet peeves when people ask me to verify, oh, do you think I should take this? What brand should I take? And I'm like, you really think it's like simplify. Unless somebody's told you you've got mercury poisoning and you should take this chelator, you probably shouldn't, you can, but it's a little dicey.
Yeah. No, I wish I could like take my setting and walk around my house to show you our hyperbaric chamber and my infrared sauna in the garage and my like it's
amazing.
Kind of fun to have healing stuff. And even though sometimes I'm not as good or diligent about using everything,
same.
It's about options. But I will tell everybody when they start going down this road, I said, listen, the body, to support the body, now we know that genes can turn on and off, right? And by nurturing yourself in your home and the things you're doing, your input, your lifestyle, your choices are going to determine if your genes are turned on or off, right? Your genes are your genes. Everybody can go get a blueprint done. But what are we going to do with that? And no matter what people's genes are or aren't, we would all say that are your good genes working well and your bad genes turned down. 100%, right? And a lot of the modalities help do that. So now with technology, there's actually products that can support at the level of our genes so that you don't need to say like, I need these 20 products for my health. Instead, it's let me flip the master regulators so that my genes are, communicating and they're talking nicely and I keep my bad genes, quiet or off or turned down per se. It's just like you have to tune a piano, right? When a piano gets out of tune, keys are sharp or dull. The same thing happens to our genes. So instead of just saying, oh, what can I do about it? No, you can activate. And things like sauna, right? Things like certain foods do that as well. But if you, even though we don't all either do our sauna or get our walk every day, hopefully we're doing it most of the days, but if we don't do it every day, you can flip the master regulator of your genes on easily every day with a single 1 pill instead of 30 pills, which is very, very cool.
Yeah, that was actually one of the things I wanted to ask you is on your site or some of the stuff you talk about, you use the term activate your natural GLP-1, because that's just like, that's all the rage conversation. Do you want to speak to that a little bit or
absolutely
that dynamic?
Yeah. No, it's, so here, funny, I've been looking at all sorts of statistics and they honestly say like 10 years from now, 70% of us will be on some GLP-1. And it's not for weight loss. It's because the GLP-1 hormone that we all have inside of us, the reason why we have it, it helps regulate our metabolic health. And your metabolic health is like the indicator to most diseases, right? It's going to tip the balance one way or the other. So we can either all rely on synthetics or drugs. And originally, without having a deep dive into this conversation, because I could have a podcast just on this alone, I'm not against the shots. And then there's a lot of people that I know that are on them, and a lot of people are either low dose or microdosing them because there are longevity benefits. There are therapeutic benefits for cardiovascular health, brain health, bone health. I mean, I could go on and on, but for most people, they're like, I don't want to do a shot the rest of my life. Okay, what other options? How do you turn the body back on? And this is what activation does. So people have probably heard of how do you activate your body through breath work, how to activate the body. It's turning on activation basically is like turning on natural processes versus an external something. So a supplement, a drug, those are all like a Band-Aid for the symptom versus turning the body back on to do the work. So when you can naturally turn your own production of GLP-1 back on again through herbal blends, now whatever has slowed down due to age, due to toxins, due to whatever in our body that things slow down, now we can say, no, get back to work again. So just like you did when you were young. So literally through, and now you can, because of marketing, there's tons of products that say, we're a GLP-1 activator. Most of the things are just a gut product, which it is important to have healthy gut. There are products that activate everything. It's all the peptides in your gut because gut health is ultimate brain health, right? And so it's this differentiator of when you take something, it's not a supplement. Everything out there in the market, you walk into the vitamin shop, you walk into GNC, right? It's rows and rows of supplements. Even though you take this and you swallow it, it's an activator, which is in combination herbal blends that turn into something completely differently that are flipping master switches so that your body gets back to work. And that's what's so cool is we really do have the power inside of us if given the right, environment.
Right. I love that description, by the way. That just gave me a visual. And I have to tell you, I just came off of a 4-day breathwork retreat. So I can completely resonate with what you're talking about right now is basically 4 straight days of breath work, 2 3-hour sessions and 2 6-hour sessions. Now we weren't in, I know everyone's like, what? We were not in, breath work for the full 3 and 6 hours. We did some other things leading up to it, bit of conversation, getting the body, getting the nervous system dialed in, having some conversations. My friend Zach Rader does these events all over the country, and I was so grateful and honored to host him here in the Madison area this last weekend. But he lives in Sedona, but he does this everywhere. But it's a 3 or 4 day event so that you're activating exactly what you're describing is you're turning on your body's innate ability switches basically to work for you. And the breath is life force energy. So you're just like, and I'm doing this motion. I know you can and I'm doing it because the way we do breath work or the way we were using it is almost like churning. You're churning a wheel. It's like you're activating. But everything that you're talking about was everything that we were talking about as a group. It's like we need to work with the nature and the energy that we already have, which is within breath and within some, food and nutrition and water and such. But we need to get back to turning our own switches on so that we can live more alive and vibrant. And so today I'm like I said, that's probably why I was staring at, just so enamored at the sky, just like looking around, because I'm so tuned in right now. I am so activated, tuned in, turned on, and dialed in, because I've spent the last 4 straight days tuning my own fork, basically, or tuning my own piano. And so that, to me, tells me, or describes what you're describing, right?
It's absolutely perfect. And the bottom line, Jen, is in the world we're living in today, at all of our ages, no matter if you're 30, 40, 50, 60, I don't care. Our health, we are more challenged in our health than ever in the history of time, because the air, the food, everything makes us, our bodies, working extra hard, because we didn't have this much toxins, and our food sources were much more nutrient dense and providing what we needed. Now our food, you can eat the best food. Food alone cannot provide everything the body needs.
Right. Yeah. And I think, and this goes for men and women. I mean, my husband's on this journey with me as well. Like, we're doing the same things. He's kind of doing some of his own work, but we do a lot of work together. So I'm not trying to discredit the men out there listening, but so many women coming to me, so many women in conversation saying in their 30s, in their 40s, and in their 50s are like, why am I so tired? Like, why do I feel like it doesn't matter what I do? Even sometimes people saying they're trying to get sleep, they can't sleep, right? They're dealing with insomnia. So they're trying to figure out where do they start? And it sounds to me that it's like, turn the lights on. Like, we need to turn the lights on. It's like, you want to see in the house, you got to turn the lights on. If it feels dark or dim, we got to turn the lights on.
And the second part is, you need, like, what's holding the lights dim, we've got to eliminate. And for most people, honestly, a lot of it is this.
I was just going to say, solid point.
Decision fatigue. When you're watching and scrolling, every single time you're seeing something, your brain is making a decision. Do I like it? Do I not? It's judge. Is this good for me? Is this not for me? Should I do this? Should I not do this? You're doing a project and you've got your notifications on. Every single time a notification goes on and you look over and get distracted, your brain loses focus. So it's no wonder why we're exhausted, because our brain is in fatigue overwhelm, which then you're trying to sleep and have a sleep routine, but you've been throughout the day, your brain is just literally like almost like scrambled, right? You've just plugged it into something that's like short circuited. Yeah. And this is just one thing, right?
Yeah. I was actually just having this conversation with my niece who lives with us, actually. That's a whole nother podcast for another day for sure. And I know that you heard in the room, Kathy teased out that I've got a project that I'm working on, and or something that I want to step into, and not to sideswipe or get off the rails a little bit. But speaking of phones, we've got my niece who lives with us. She's going to be 19 in a couple weeks. Talk about a generation that's been inundated with, and it's not just teenagers, but it's, I would say teenagers and 20s up to, completely inundated with too many decisions, too much information, too much overload, too much notifications. We were just talking last night about how she completely revamped her phone so that she's not getting notifications, because it's been an interesting year of us trying to help her get some footing in life and get some, help her just kind of step into the world, so to speak. But just seeing it through the lens of so I'm 44, she's 19, we'll say, seeing it through the lens of her is mind bending to me, how thoroughly distracted we've become. Now, like we've been living, we had a chance and opportunity to grow up in nature with no internet, none of this stuff pinging at us, right? And now we're in this now, 20, 30 years later, we're living in this soup of, the situation soup, as I call it. But that generation is just so inundated with information. And a lot of adults have gotten caught up in that as well, and have completely lost sight of what that device was meant to be, right? Like use it for convenience, making phone calls, staying somewhat connected, but we have got to set those things down. If we want to really thrive and live, people who want to talk about, oh, I want to live this, vibrant, active, alive life, yet they can't go for a walk for 30 minutes without the phone. Like that's the problem. So I love the fact that you brought up, it's not just what are the solutions, it's what are the problems? What is it causing you? What's getting in the way? What are the hurdles? What are the problems? And I think that needs to be foundationally eliminated or at least identified, so that you can, kind of clear the path. This 4-day retreat that I was on for the last, few days, as well as the Kathy retreat, one of the things I love is that you have to be present. If you're not present, you might as well have stayed home, because you're not going to get anything out of it unless you're fully present. And in the breath work, we didn't even have our phones on, like they weren't even on us. And I was like, oh, what a breath of fresh air, pun intended, to just not have it anywhere near you.
You have to realize that everything we do is helping the body or hurting the body. Period. Yeah. There is no like, maybe. And you can make an active choice if you want to do something, and we'll just say like, I'm just going to scroll for 15 minutes. I'm going to put a timer on. Okay. You've made the choice. You're just going to do it. You've made that decision. Fine. I'm going to eat this piece of chocolate cake tonight. Great. It's totally fine to do things knowing like, but I'm getting a little pleasure from it. It's okay. But you're actively making that. Most of the people are not actively making the decision. They're just letting life upon them. And they're like, I have no time. I don't feel great. But they're not even constructing the life they want.
Right. Yeah, I feel like you and I could chat on this soapbox all day long, but this is really the conversation everybody's having right now is like, how did we get into this situation? How do we identify what the situation is for each person? How do we get on the path? And what I have found is a couple things at a time versus a laundry list of like creating a habit stacker of 47 things isn't going to do it for you. That's going to be like analysis paralysis.
Yep.
And I know you have a summit coming up here in a few weeks in early November. The show will air right before it, so we're going to slide that in. So do you want to talk a little bit about that maybe? And talk, because I think that would be a great place for people to connect and kind of get on this path with you.
Yeah. And talk about, obviously, as Jen and I started this today, we started because we met at a 3-day summit. Now that was in person, which was so juicy, and nothing ever beats like connection in person. But this is the second time we're putting this on, and this is a virtual summit for women, and it is free. And ultimately, the goal is through all these different guest experts and their expertise to be able to empower women to say, this is an area that you can take control of your health. And this is an area that you can take control of your health. And so some of it is maybe more educational. Some of it is more like step 1, step 2, more applicable, but it could be anything from how you take care of your, your mouth and your oral health and your microbiome, how that affects everything else in your health. It may be about like strength training and why, muscle is the organ of longevity. And as we continue to age, it is critical to make sure we're maintaining muscle mass. And how do you get started doing that? It could be another woman is coming to speak on ADHD. And for most of us, we think we're just a little bit like, oh, I didn't sleep. Oh, it's just because I have mom brain. Oh, I'm in perimenopause. We blame it on everything. And not to say like, you don't need a diagnosis for anything, but she wants to say like, as somebody that got identified having it, how has she structured her life to thrive with it? How do you stay motivated and focused and not just go like, oh, I just have ADHD and let yourself be all over the place, right? We're going to talk about peptides. We're going to talk about so many things. And it's really, yes, people might think it's like a little bit of a smorgasbord of things. It won't hit for everybody, but it's what you might need to know at that time for each one of us. And then just a little introduction to who I am, who Dr. Heidi Rossabal is. Her and I run these summits together because we have a membership together. She's a naturopath and a functional medicine doctor. And we bring guest experts, just like at the summit, into our memberships. But it's a place that women can just get real education, that they can go, oh my gosh, I wasn't crazy. this is going to help me, or my friend needs to hear about this. And we've already vetted all the people, right? So it's one place, one time, come. For some people, obviously like hours and hours is tough because it's 5 or 6 hours a day. But you can always listen to the recordings later. You can get them later. We do have a VIP option if you want one-on-one coaching and hot seats at the end of each day or the next day, or then you could have the recordings for life. But really, we want to, it's ladies, we need to stay in the game. In our health right now, we've got to stay in the game. And the only way we're going to stay in the game is to start feeling empowered that we have everything that we need to take control of our health. And some of you might be baby steps, and some of you might be like all the way up here, but there'll be something for everybody at the summit.
That sounds like a beautiful buffet. Like you said, a smorgasbord, but it's everything, right? Like you know, oral health, all these things, like people might just take 1 or 2 nuggets, or they might find a ton of information, and that's okay too. So I love it. Kellie, where can people connect with you and follow you? Obviously, we'll have information on the summit. I think it's November 5th and 6th, correct?
Correct.
Yep. But if they want to follow you, follow your show on socials, do you want to blast that out there?
Absolutely. The best place to find me is over on Instagram. So I'm just at Kellie Lupsha. And I love the fact that because Kellie's with an IE, I'm pretty easy to find. So KELLIE LUPSHA. Best way is just, throw me a message over there. And you can also find me over at my podcast. It's Thriving in Midlife. So I'd love to see you over there as well.
Oh my gosh, Kellie, thank you so much. I'm trying to think. I feel like this time went by so fast for us and we covered so many things. Is there anything else that you want to share before we sign off, or any words of wisdom that you want to share?
I would just say, I tell everybody is every morning we have a decision to make about how you want to have your day. And if you can win the morning, you can win your day. So find the small routine, not a big routine, not an hour or two. Find the 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it is for you in the morning that nourishes you so that you're in control of your day. Because truly, if you feel ready to go in the morning, that'll stack up your odds of having success for the whole entire rest of your day.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Couldn't agree more. Kellie, thank you so much for joining me today. Obviously, we're going to stay connected and continue to chat. And I look forward to the summit. That's going to be beautiful. And we'll talk to you soon.
Perfect. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Okay, friends and fellow wellness warriors, thanks for tuning in today. If this show was helpful and inspired you, please head over to Apple or Spotify to rate, review, subscribe, and follow us, as well as share it with your friends and family. It's a fantastic way to grow the show, expand my reach, and teach others how to create a vibrant life they love. If you're ready to invest in your health and purchase a Clear Light sauna, hop on over to jenhellerlifestyle.com and send me a note. Thanks again for tuning in. I love you. I'm grateful for you, and I thank you so much for your support. You are the reason I do this work. You are the reason I do this show. And you are the reason I get up every single day with a burning desire in my soul. Cheers to your health and happiness, my friends. We'll see you next week. This podcast is for general information purposes only and is not intended to be substituted for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. If you think you have a medical condition, consult your licensed physician.